back to Inside Demon Athletics, where you can learn what goes on behind the scenes from an athlete's perspective. This past weekend, Demon Volleyball finished their season with a loss to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. NSU men's and women's basketball faced off with Ecclesia College on Friday. Both teams secured a big win. Demon football traveled to Thibodeau, where they fell short to the Nicholls State. But it was a hard-fought battle. In fact, they had the lead at halftime for the first time in conference play. They play SFA at home this Thursday, November 21st, for their last game of the season. This week, I'll be talking with Riley Stern, a health and exercise science student at NSU who plans to pursue a career in nutrition. Riley will share her knowledge about the importance of nutrition and recovery in Demon Athletics, so you can better understand how dialed in and focused athletes must be on their recovery and nutrition on and off the field. Introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your knowledge of the importance of recovery and nutrition for athletes.
My name is Riley Stern. I'm currently a senior at Northwestern State, and I'm studying health and exercise science, planning to go get my master's in nutrition and then hopefully work as a dietitian in college or professional athletics. The importance of recovery and nutrition to me is just seeing how long athletes are in season, just knowing that injuries, the more you get down the line, just are more common. So making sure people are proactive with their nutrition and recovery just helps prevent those and keep athletes healthy and playing on the field.
Starting with recovery, how important is recovery for athletic performance? Is it just as important as the training itself?
I would say it's just as important, if not more important, because you're not going to be able to recover and play up to your full potential if your body is in a state that's broken down. So really making sure that you're replenishing your nutrition and making sure you're staying on top of little injuries is really important for performance.
How many hours would you say athletes, college athletes at NSU spend actively working on recovery?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say it probably differs. I feel like female athletes are probably going to be more proactive with their recovery. So maybe I would say 4 to 5 hours on the maybe bottom end, and then up to maybe 8 hours a week. Just doing things like stretching, going to treatment, getting little things taken care of, ice baths, stuff like that. But yeah.
So it's really a full-time job, and then they have practice too, which
Yes.
is crazy. And then what are some recovery trends that you've maybe seen on social media that you think are overrated?
My number one recovery trend is going to be ice baths. A lot of science recently has said that blood flow is one of the most important ways to recover and replenish broken down muscles and things. And when you're going into an ice bath, you're restricting blood flow, so it's quite literally counterproductive. And then other than that, I would say probably just the amount of hype around supplements. You can get everything you need out of Whole Foods most of the time, and supplements aren't as necessary as the media makes it. It makes it easier to get certain stuff in, but not as necessary.
What would you say is the number one recovery tip you have?
Oh, number one recovery. I think sleep, getting enough sleep is the most important. I like minimum 8 hours, but I think up to 10 is probably, if you're in the middle of season, not bad to get. Your body really replenishes everything while you're asleep, so it's one of the best things you can do to recover.
What are some recovery tools that athletes at NSU have access to?
From what I've seen, they have contrast baths, which is going from cold to hot, which I think is better than a normal ice bath. And then compression boots are a big one just to get blood flow. They have access to the training rooms, which just have a bunch of little rehab stuff that they can take advantage of and stuff like that. And then obviously just the outdoors, going on walks and things can also help.
Okay, now moving on to the nutrition aspect, since you're studying to become a sports dietitian, how does one's nutrition impact recovery and performance?
Nutrition is a big factor. You're never going to be able to kind of build up and get stronger if you're not replenishing things that have been broken down through either lifting or practice. So it's really important that you get your protein, your fats, so that your body structures can rebuild. And then obviously carbs too, to fuel your performance so that your body's not having to rely on those other things for your energy.
What type of meal or snack would you recommend for an athlete pre-workout and then post-workout?
Pre-workout, something easy to digest, so stay away from things high in like fiber and protein, and fats even. You can have like moderate fats pre-workout, but I would mostly stick with even refined carbs because sometimes whole grains and unrefined carbs have too high like fiber counts. So like things like Cheerios, like Rice Krispie treats, fruit, even sometimes it's too high in fiber, but smoothies are good. Applesauce, stuff like that, granola bars, gummy bears, fruit snacks, stuff like that. And then post workout, you definitely want to get your protein and fats in just to make sure you're rebuilding those structures that broke down while you were working out.
So what nutrition resources do NSU athletes have access to?
I think they're definitely trying to get a little better in that aspect. I think now they have access to a couple things pre-workout like honey stingers, which are like good carbs before workouts, and then they also have some vitamins and stuff available to them, and cherry juice, which can help with recovery and sleep a lot too. And then obviously they have protein powder and stuff to that they can take advantage of, and fruit also. But I think in the future, when this new field house gets built, they'll definitely have better resources.
That's definitely something to look forward to. And then, what is one piece of nutrition advice you think all athletes should know?
Ooh, I'd say just because the media and like so much on social media demonizes carbs, but just to know that carbs are literally an athlete's best friend and you would not be able to perform at a high level without them. So eat all the carbs you can, especially for endurance athletes and athletes that are running a lot.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Although Thanksgiving break is next week, men's and women's basketball will be battling on the court. The Lady Demons will travel to Destin, Florida to participate in a round robin. They play Virginia on Monday, November 24th at 7:30 p.m. The following day, they will play Nebraska and Purdue Fort Wayne at 7:30 p.m. as well. Finally, men's basketball will take on Southern at home on Saturday, November 29th at 1 p.m. So if you're back from Thanksgiving break, be sure to show out at Prather and cheer them on. Enjoy your break, and as always, Fork 'em Demons.